So Chris made a new video about me, saying a whole bunch of nonsense. It's pretty stupid, actually. He brings up this really retarded argument. Well, first he starts off by saying, I'm obsessed with his ass. You know, despite that being the only non-synthetic part of him, I prefer real girls. Or even real girls with synthetic parts, actually. Doesn't matter to me. But anyway, Chris brings up this stupid argument. He's like, oh, you know, you say I'm fake. What about, why don't you ask these questions to Hatsumi? Let's see. So, okay, Hatsumi, do you have more than one picture with your teacher? Yeah, I've seen tons of them. I've seen the videos. I've seen the stack of letters this high from Takamatsu. Chris has one picture that he posts over and over again. He even has a picture of the picture of the picture in his book. Seriously, look at it. He has the picture in the top, and then he has the picture of the picture on the scrolls. It's retarded. And then, you know, he says, Tokakuru dates back to the 1100s, but there's no proof of that. Obviously. Does Tokakuru actually date back to the 1100s? Maybe yes, maybe no. The idea does, certainly. That's usually how it goes. There's embellishments on lineages. But, you know, it's a stupid thing to bring up. And then he says his scroll dates back to 1894. But when we looked at it in the book, it was written with modern Japanese. That was a direct translation of his English using the wrong Japanese terms. So when he said kyojitsu, when he meant kyojitsu, since he can't tell the difference, he had the translator write it as kyojitsu, like fake technique, instead of kyojitsu, meaning like interchanging truth and reality, falsehood and truth. So we have this 1894 scroll that is obviously not from 1894. And, you know, it's just retarded. He says there's no proof of Tokakuru before the 50s. But we know there is, because Fujita Seiko references Tokakuru. We have the Hyakutogi no Rekishi, which is a book that came out in the 90s, but it references a periodical from the 1800s, which mentions Tokakuru. We have, you know, the Tokakuru scroll for the conch shell. We have lots of stuff, so. But, you know, that only matters if you can read and speak Japanese, which Chris can't. And, you know, if it's fake, why are you teaching it? Why are you teaching it anyway? Because you're not allowed to. You don't have rank high enough in the Bujinkan to teach any Bujinkan's techniques. You got a Yandan from Henry Infante, and, you know, you basically just bought that off of him because he was leaving the Bujinkan anyway. So, then he goes on to say stuff like, oh, he used to call me a woman, he used to call me by my full name. This is a nice trick that Chris does, because if I say Chris, it doesn't matter. But if I say his full name, he gets my videos pulled. So, Chris it is. And what else did he say? He said, oh, and he's calling me a whore. Well, we've seen your website that you just took down, and if the shoe fits, it's probably a fucking huge shoe for you. Like a huge ass high heel. I don't even know what the hell they're. You would know more than me. But yeah. What else? That's really it. Of course, just deflection. Never saying, oh, here's proof my teacher existed, even though there's no death certificate, even though he served in the military. When you file an FOIA request on him, there's nothing. No census records, no records of the teacher in Japan, no records of the teacher in the Yagyu Seigan Ryu, even though you said he studied it, no records in Toyama Ryu, even though you said he studied it. You know, no records of him working for the police department, which he said he was a police officer. We know you're a liar. That's it. It's like, she's like, oh, she, ha 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 ha. He, but they're like, oh, we have so many schools open. We have all these schools opening. It's like, so does Frank Dukes. So does Om Young-do, and they're a cult too. Like, really. If the point of you being real is that you have 1,000,000 schools open, and you said the Bujinkan isn't real, because Tokakuru is fake, but then we have thousands and thousands of schools, well, what does that say? I guess we're real. Even though you said we weren't real, even though you said there's no proof, but you just said, yeah, you contradicted yourself, same as always. Fucking idiot, for real. He's just getting in this weird, like, he's believing his own lies more and more. He's just progressing towards this just crazy thing. And, you know, really, how well are your schools doing if you have that other job? Bam.